What up, YouTube? My name is Noel, and we're set for Game 2 of the first round of the NBA playoffs. But before we start, let's just check first the games on the Eastern Conference because we couldn't simulate them because there was a schedule, and I have to play my scheduled game first. So it's Cleveland taking the first game, Charlotte, Miami, and then Atlanta. That's for the East. I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to simulate for their side. Okay. Oh, there you go. So Cleveland just moved on from the first round, and they're awaiting the winner between Boston and Charlotte. And you have a tied series between Miami and Milwaukee, and then Atlanta and Chicago. Okay. So I think everything has also been simulated on the west side. You have here a tied series. Wow, between the Warriors and the Suns. This is going to be something if the Warriors do drop off. As of now, they're having a little bit of challenge because Steph Curry just injured his MCL. He had a grade 1 MCL injury. Anyways, so you have here OKC. I believe, can I simulate? Oh, there you go. All right, so you already have a second round meeting between the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wow. The Spurs, the number 3 seed, actually got dropped off by the number 6 seed. That is something. And the number 2 seed has been dropped off by the number 7 seed. This is pretty much becoming an upsetting playoffs. But anyway, so let's start now. Let's try to see if I'll be able to move on to the second round. Here we go. Lakers, Hornets. Oh, sorry. Lakers, Pelicans, game 2. Alright, so tip-off is on its way. This is game 2 between the Lakers and Pelicans, round 1 of the NBA playoffs. And when I was going through this game, there was a sense of just a little bit of pressure because I don't know. I just feel that the Pelicans will become the Pelicans that I actually faced earlier in the season. They might give me a hard time given that it's game 2 and it might, start becoming a very challenging series. While I am confident that I'm going to win, but hey, anything can happen, and if I don't play my game right, I'm actually going to end up losing, and I don't want that to happen. That's what I mentioned in my last video. As much as possible, I want to win all of my playoff games. So as you can see in the scoreboard right now, this is actually quite a close matchup. Here comes Kobe, by the way, hesitating a little bit. Defense didn't really do anything, so there he goes, taking the shot. D'Angelo Russell actually blocking Anthony Davis and deloading with a dunk. That was actually a great play from one block and then dunks to the other end. That's actually something. Here comes, who's that? That's Julius Randle with the dunk. So yeah, I really don't know what to say anymore. As you can see, it's actually getting slowly becoming one-sided again, and I really don't know how much more the Pelicans can handle. As you can see, they're 18-13. They were able to trim it down to just a 5-point deficit, but this is just the beginning of the end for the Pelicans. It's really hard to imagine if a playoff series is actually just a best of 3. I mean, I believe it happens in local tournaments, let's say high school tournaments or college tournaments in within the school tournament. I mean, for a fact that those are the type of tournaments that I have seen when I was still studying. But in an NBA setting, I guess if you're the player, if you're one of the players, that's going to be quite nice because you don't have to play that much. But you're pretty much pressured because you really have to win all games. And it never really dawned to me to have a best of 7 in any of the NBA games that I have played over the years. It's always a best of 3 for me. I guess the most distinct memory that I have in terms of starting a season or playing a season is with NBA Live 2005. because that was my first owned NBA Live. Earlier NBA Lives, I just borrowed them from a friend, and mostly were pirated. So NBA Live 2005 was my first original game, and that's where I was really able to, you know, take advantage of having my own licensed NBA game, and I got to play the season dynasties mode for NBA Live. And yeah, ever since back then, it's always been best of three. And there were times in which I would lose game two, or I would lose game one, and game three, that's where I really bring my A game. I'm laser focused. No one can really stop me. There you go. By the way, Nick Young with a dunk. I just have to emphasize Nick Young. Nick Young is really a valuable asset. Any Laker fan watching me right now would say that he's actually quite bonkers. He's just a distraction. By the way, there's Jordan Clarkson with a steal and a dunk. Jordan Clarkson, he is really a good player. He has a bright future in the NBA. Hopefully, he stays as a Laker for the entirety of his career, because I don't know. I mean, when you look at the last complete Laker player, it was Magic Johnson. And what was the gap between Magic and Kobe? Like about a decade or so, or probably more. So I just really hope that there's going to be a next great Laker, and I'm really looking at Jordan Clarkson. So yeah, going back to Nick Young, by the way, here he goes with a three. He's really a dead-eye shooter outside if you just know how to play him properly. So yeah, it's slowly becoming a blowout, 55-38. It's how many points? It's a 17-point lead. So yeah, any Laker fan will probably say that Swaggy P sometimes is bonkers, doesn't really play the game seriously, but he's really an X factor, and I really do believe in that. There's a long ass play again. You can see the hustle of the Lakers. Julius Randle there with a two, and yeah, pretty much that's it. What I do like about playing this particular Lakers is that I really do get to practice teamwork, because for the longest time, Nick Young with it. See, this guy is good, man. I can't get this anymore from Kobe. He's really a reliable six man. So yeah, this type of gameplay has really taught me to practice teamwork, because for the longest time, it has always been about Kobe. Like I play Kobe as if that is the real Kobe. Like, give me the ball, I'll take care of it. I'll pass when I feel like passing, and that's about it. Julius Randle, by the way. There was this one particular game, I'm not quite sure, I think I wasn't able to upload it, that he was the player of the game because I wanted him to be the player of the game. I just want him to take over because he's really a talented guy. But yeah, as much as I want to have someone shine on a particular game, it's really team basketball. Team basketball, pass the ball if you're open. Just like that one, here comes Lance Nance with a two. And that's a wrap. I win the game, and let's now try to see who's the player of the game. 72-40. That's much worse than the game in the first game. And Jordan, the player of the game, none other than D'Angelo Russell. 14 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. I'm not really quite surprised because D'Lo is really reliable. He's fast, he drives to the rim, and when a defender catches him, then he can just pass the ball, as you can see right there. And he's a finisher in the rim. He doesn't dunk strong. Well, he dunked strong that time, but he can finish. He can just lay the ball in. And that wraps up game two of the round one series between the Lakers and the Pelicans. So let's now check the box score for this game. So for the Pelican side, obviously and expected, it's Anthony Davis being the top scorer with 14 points. The man did everything he could for his team, but then again, it wasn't totally enough. For the Lakers side, it was D'Angelo Russell. Actually, both D'Angelo and Kobe scored the same amount of points, 14. However, it was D'Angelo Russell getting the player of the game. It's quite expected because he played more than Kobe. I had to sit out Kobe because there was actually no need for him to play. And on top of that, on his last plays, he was committing a couple of turnovers. As you can see here, he got 3. So that's the reason why I opted just to sit him out. And the Lakers actually had a very, I wouldn't say totally balanced, but there was the fluidity of the game. It was really nice, and with that, I really enjoyed what I won. So if you enjoyed this particular round 1 series, please do leave a like. And if you would like to watch more videos from me, more Laker playoff videos, please do subscribe. Again, my name is Noel. Peace out.